Hello, Sam, and welcome to Tuk Tuk Talks with Ambassador Levine. We're really excited to be with you here today. So could you just tell us a little bit about yourself, about your music, and why people call you Sam the Kid?
People call me Sam the Kid because that's the name that I put myself. It's cooler when somebody starts calling you and the name sticks. But it was a name that I choose for myself when I was really a kid, because I used to hang out with older people, and I felt like it was that person. I felt like I was the smallest one, and it was a name that in that time some artists had that, some American artists had, like DJ Kid Capri, like Kid Creole and the Coconuts. There was some rappers and DJs who had that name, and I always enjoyed it. Fantastic. But it doesn't have a great story, it's just a name that I enjoyed.
Well, it's certainly memorable.
Yes,
that's for sure. So tell us a little bit about how you got into the music business here in Portugal.
Since I was a kid, I always felt like I was a creative person, opposite sports person. I was more like just bringing ideas and having fun with music. Even if I didn't have the machines to do music, I just banging and saying some gibberish just to have fun, and that enthusiasm just got bigger and bigger, and I always loved music. I started my passion. My first passion was as a dancer. As a little kid, I loved to dance. In ciphers, in people dancing in a crowd, I would enter. But after that, I saw some kind of music, in hip hop. I always was connected with rap, but more of the dance part. Rap made me dance. But then in '93, the sound changed a little bit, and the messages, and it spoke to me. And when I was in school, really in the beginning, I always did poetry. When the teacher said, write something about your holidays, and it's free. You can do in rhyme or you can do in without rhyme. And I always chose to do the rhyme. So when in '93 something spoke to me, like I can contribute to this. I think I can do this, and with a lot of passion. I started with my first group called Official Nasty. We did a few shows, and then the group ended, but I continued with my younger and with a great passion to evolve. And in '99, I dropped my first CD, solo CD, independent. And then in 2002, I did my first partnership with a label in distribution and promotion. In 2006, it even got bigger. And I'm very proud of my story, of my career, because it was really step by step. I didn't took the elevator, I just took the stairs, and every step was really, I tasted it and I enjoyed it. So I'm very proud. I say this to say that I did not start to be independent, like making money at first. I was still living with my mother and depending on them, and I'm very grateful for that. I'm always grateful for that. So the money part that I can say that I'm independent economic wise, and now I can help my mother. It was around 2006 maybe that I could say now I'm really stable, because before that I was not stable. So it was a long journey, and because my passion was never to be stable. My passion was to do music. The economic part to me is always consequence. You know, it's not about that for me. But if it happens, I'm very grateful if it happens, because if it didn't happen, I will always have to go to a plan B or a plan C, you know. Mm-hmm. But fortunately, I'm still in plan A.
So one of the things that really impressed me about you when we met was your ability to take your success and share your success with your community. And here we are in Chelis, which I know I promised you I would come here, which is a place that's so important to you. So tell us a little bit about how you use, your work, and you use your Sam the Kid persona to uplift your own community.
Yes. To me, that kind of spirit actually comes from what I think hip-hop is, the American culture, that nowadays it's a worldwide culture, but we can never forget, of course, it's an American culture. But I always saw that. I always saw that artists will bring other artists with them if sometimes they are from their own neighborhoods. But if they are not from their own neighborhoods, they are from the community of that culture, you know? So that's something that to me, it's a no-brainer. It's something that it makes sense. It's not forced. It's and I came from a time here in Portugal, there were not so many artists in this kind of art. So the need to contribute and the need to collaborate was almost like we had to do it. And if somebody got bigger, you bring them with you. But outside of the of music, but with music as well, I always try to be aware of what is happening here, especially in my neighborhood, and do something to give them some kind of light. We have a lot of partnerships with festivals, and they ask us to curate a show, and we always bring the talent from the area. Sometimes it's their first show on a big stage, and it's like we feel it's like the highlight of their life. They are very grateful, and then in the backstage is very important, because that's the moment we communicate about what can you do next, what was wrong or what was perfect in your performance. And I like to give that feedback, and I have lots of I have another program with the national radio that is actually in Chelis as well, and I bring Chelis ao Sítio, that this is the association that I'm the president of, and I bring artists local, but not just local, national, people who speak Creole, Brazilian, from the north, from the south. But to me, the part that involves my neighborhood is that each season is recorded on a nice auditorium here in our neighborhood. So to me, that's the part that I'm exposing. I'm showing what we have here that is nice, that people in the neighborhood maybe they even don't know that exists. So the first one was in another place. The second one, it was in an auditorium of a school that I was, and now the third one was in a library auditorium, all here in our neighborhood. So I like to show what we got that is good.
Tell us a little bit about this fascinating looking space.
Yeah. This place is is my headquarters, where I do my business as well with the merchandise and my albums, my physical albums. And this is where I do my content for my channel and my brand that I have called TV Shellish. I have that channel. The concept I have forever, because I have that name because I was saying to you, I was creative since I was a kid, and since I had the camcorder, that I thought, oh, welcome to TV Shellish. That was like my dream. So in 2016, when it was time to make something official with content, I decided to keep that name to represent the little kid with hunger. And I do here a lot of podcasts. I have one more traditional with artists talking about their careers. And I have another one with a Portuguese teacher about the language, the Portuguese language, because that is something that I like to defend as well. The purpose of that podcast is because there is some prejudice and there is some in the way we talk. If you use some kind of words, you may be seen as inferior, and I don't like that. To me, the richness of a language is the variety of the words, of the dialects, the way we speak. That's to me, I'm a liberal when we talk about language, because I'm a poet, and if I am a poet, I'm greedy. I want all the words. I don't want to be just these words. No, bring me new words, slang words. Give me everything, because I already rhyme with these ones.
So you made a very conscious decision only to rap in Portuguese, not in English. Tell me a little bit about that.
To me, rap is about truth. To me, rap is about truth. It's like there are some kind of codes in rap, to me, personally, that when you see a rapper, you don't question if he wrote those lyrics. You expect it to happen. Sure. You expect the rapper to write his own lyrics. Right. Opposite to pop music or the rest of the music. Like I feel like rap is almost an exception. You feel like it has to come from him, and he is going to bring his identity. And the power of the rapper is not so much the performance. It's like, oh, he's a great performer. If I bring him these lyrics, he's going to perform them great, like a great singer. No, it's his truth. You cannot pass those lyrics to another person, and the song is going to be better, even if he's a better performer. No, it loses the truth, because it's not his story, even if he's a better performer. So to me, that's what rap is. And the language that I speak, that I dream, it's Portuguese. And you are seeing me and hearing me speak English. I don't try to.
Sorry, my Portuguese is terrible. I'm trying.
I stutter. I'm thinking about it, and I don't speak as an Englishman or American. I'm speaking like a Portuguese is speaking English, and I think it loses a little bit of truth, and it limits me with the vocabulary. Because my vocabulary is not that rich. Sometimes I'm thinking in Portuguese and I'm not thinking the right word to translate, so I'm going to use a vaguer, more simpler word in English because I don't know the other one, So to me, that's it. And honestly, I never felt. Sometimes people who tend to do that kind of change in or try to speak in English, or they are immigrants, or they are living in London, or they lived in London for 10 years and they are used to that language, or they have this ambition. Oh, I'm going to be the greatest in the world. You know, of course, the English language is the common denominator in the language. So I never had that ambition. I never had that ambition. I always felt that even in the Portuguese language that is spoken in a lot of countries, like in Brazil, it's super difficult to have success. And we speak the same language, but they do not understand us like we understand them because of culture, television. We saw the soap operas. We receive more words from them than the opposite. It's kind of like the England and America music-wise, in rap-wise, because music, of course, the Beatles and the Who, a lot of English bands made it. But in rap, I don't know. It never happens. Sometimes this is the new sensation, the new British rapper that's going to make in America. He doesn't make it. And he speaks the same language, and Americans understand English.
Right.
So sometimes even that kind of ambition using the language, it's not sufficient because there's a lot of politics involved. There's a lot of the truth and the people connecting with you and feeling they are living the same reality. That all counts. And the part of the politics is that you have to promote yourself, not going to that country one weekend. You have to stay there for a season to promote yourself and almost be there for a big time, a big portion of time to really make yourself known. So I never had that type of illusion. I like to say this, that I prefer to be really loved and respected by fewer people than just to people say, oh, he's okay, and with a large crowd of people with millions, but I'm just okay for those millions of people. No, I want to be really important for a smaller crowd. I'm happy with it.
So who were your inspirations when you began your musical career and you looked at people as models? Who were your primary inspirations?
To me, my secret, or what makes my identity, it's to have hundreds and thousands of people who inspired you. Because if your role model are 3 people, you're going to be a mix of that 3 people, and maybe we can notice, oh, okay, yeah, I can see. So if you are a mix of thousands or hundreds of references and persons, because we don't invent the wheel, we have to be fans first. And I try. That's what I try to do. To be a good artist, I have to be the biggest fan. To me, that's my recipe for my art. That's what I try to always. To me, it was really important in a certain time to have satellite channels from other. I asked for my mother because one of our neighbors that was his business, and none of my friends wanted that. It was like, I want some shoes, I wanted a bike, and I was different in that way. I wanted information. I wanted to be inspired. I wanted the window to open, and this was a time when the window worldwide was not open that easier like it is today with the internet, of course. So to me, that hunger, I was always that guy that shows and plays the new music to my friends, and record personalized tapes or CDs for them because I know what they like, you know. And that's me. I'm always absorbing the information to be inspired. in music, in movies. I studied cinema, but I never finished because I studied to make my own art and not to be a cameraman in a TV show that I was not the author. I know that is kind of a spoiled way of thinking, but I have to be honest. I did not study cinema to be an employee of something that I was not the creative idea.
The message.
So to me, it's difficult to say this guy, because it's not only musicians or the directors, it's even persons, it's your friend that you need to talk to, and it's your family, for them to inspire you. Inspiration is everywhere. So to me, I'm always a sponge, 24 hours. It's not a job, it's what I am.
So as you know, my job as ambassador is to create exchanges and dialogue between Portuguese and American culture. So we were lucky enough to have you with us for our hip-hop diplomacy session, where we brought American and Portuguese hip-hop artists, aerosol artists, together for 2 weeks of spending time. So just as an observer, because we were so lucky to have you there, what do you see as similarities and differences between American and Portuguese culture?
I don't know how to answer that, because American culture, I think it's very plural. I don't know the countryside of American culture besides watching movies and stuff. But in hip hop, I think that's something that we can connect ourselves worldwide when we think a little bit the same. I think there's a small difference, but I understand why. Because when you enter some kind of subculture with principles like punk and hip hop, you have some kind of principle like not selling out. You have to be stuck to your principles and not sell out.
We talked about that.
Yeah. And I feel that I'm not saying that in American culture, in hip hop, they sell out. I'm just saying that they are very business wise. They are very aware of that, and we can learn from that as well. But my generation, I think, but to be honest, I'm like the last of the Mohicans. I know this doesn't exist anymore, this kind of principles. But it's like, if I want to make a song with you, I have to know your work. I have to respect your work. Mm-hmm. I have to be a fan of your work. And I see, and I was in the States, in New York, and them just to know that I was big in my country, they were already available for collaboration. But I felt like, but you didn't hear my music. But I understand it. I understand why. Because the competition in New York or in America is so everybody is a rapper. Your neighbor, everybody, your uncle. So you have to do this kind of things just to at first to make yourself known, and they see some the market a little bit different. And here, even if we are starting, sometimes we are a little bit more close. Like, yo, I have to know you first. That's me talking. I'm not talking about everybody, but that's just the only difference that I see. That's the part that is kind of more business wavy in a good sense as well, because the
hip-hop diplomacy program.
The hip-hop diplomacy program was inspirational. That was an inspiration. That was an inspiration because me and my friend Varela, Nuno is from Chalzão City as well. And we are always talking, we have to do something like this here. It's inspired by this with our twists.
Right.
But that was inspirational to do something that brings the community together, that with workshops and culminating on something with a show or something like that. So yes, and we are going to do something.
Good.
So that was very important. That was very important.
So as you know, Americans are falling in love with Portugal. I'd like to think that you and I had a little something to do with that. Why do you think that phenomenon is happening?
To me, it's difficult to answer that question because I have to be honest. I think you are maybe the only American that I speak to. So,
lucky me.
Because I don't have that reality. But if you are saying that to me, I'm very happy for it. But I always felt that. Of course, I'm biased, but to me, this is paradise. To me, this is paradise. To me, this is the best country but of course, because this is the country that I always lived. But I went to other countries that are great. But when you come back, it's your home, and the culture is great. The food is great. The weather is spectacular. Great. So I think those are some kind of topics that make people fall in love with our culture. And if you go more on the other places about like the north of Portugal, I think in Lisbon, to be honest, we could be more have more hospitality in comparison to the north. North people they are really like, you cannot leave this place without loving it, you know. And in comparison, I think Lisbon loses a little bit, but North is Portugal as well. So I'm very proud of that.
Right. So you are so busy working on your craft, helping your community. What do you do on the lazy Sunday afternoon that you may have free?
I'll stay home because I'm really lazy. I prefer to stay home with my family and watch some series or watch some movies, and we don't even leave the house. So to me, that's a perfect way of spending my Sunday, because sometimes Sundays are on the road as well, or I'm coming back from a show that I did on Saturday. Sure. Now, in this moment that we're speaking, the Shelazeo Sítio as a soccer team in a tournament, and they are playing on Sundays, and I'm the president, so I'm there supporting the team. But in a lazy Sunday, it's home for sure.
And we're in this amazing space right in the middle of the Cellist Football Club.
Yes.
So it shows your commitment not only to your art, but to your sport.
Yes.
Sam, thank you so much.
Thank you
for being with me today. You've been with me at so many really important and special exchanges and times in this amazing relationship we're trying to create between America and Portugal. And I know that I can count on you to continue to help me do this, and the embassy to do this amazing work.
And I feel very honored. And I told you this, that you are making a big difference in the job that you are doing, because in my life I never saw an ambassador doing what you are doing. So thank you.
Thank you so much.